Hello and welcome back to Void Dreaming. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after pretty much getting out of that whole little fight with Lita by the skin of our teeth. Despite Kalia and the captain's assertion that the ship is like super strong, super fast, super like advanced and whatnot, it kind of proved to be false. I mean, it is super fast, super strong, and super advanced, but the pirate ship was better. And yeah, like, even though Kalia was able to pretty much blow some, like, what, 2 ships out of the sky, the pirate ship had I forgot what it was called, something sling, which pretty much made everything, just inconsequential. And, like, if they had stayed in the fight, they would have lost. They would have probably all have been blown out of the sky, and Anwill would have been lost. Which, oh no, that would have been bad. Oh no, poor little Anwill. Anyways, but now that we are safe, it's time to yet again roam the corridors and talk to people. But of course, you know me, you know who I'm going to talk to. Because of course. Anyways, without further ado, let us continue Void Dreaming. Gee, I wonder where I'm going to go. A trip to the commissary could just be what you or your stomach needs. The door is open as you head over to it. A peek in doesn't seem to show anyone around. You're about to weigh up whether or not you want to eat now or go somewhere else when the sound of footsteps turns you around. It's Bromm'ka. Coming from the direction of the rec room, his eyes light up as he spots you. Rail, good morning. Hey Bromm'ka, not sure it's morning, but thanks anyway. It's always morning when you wake up. Sleep well? Yeah, thanks. Needed it more than I thought. How are you? His smile slips for a moment, and he glances back down at the various doors in the corridor. They linger on the door that Anwill's locked behind. Come in and let us speak over food at least. What conversation is worth having if it cannot be had over a meal? Well, there's definitely something on his mind. Whatever's bothering him, you're curious and hungry. I could use some breakfast, I guess. The bear grins and claps his paws together as he steps back from the entrance. By all means, after you. You chuckle, shaking your head as you head on into the commissary. The replicator sings a song to your stomach, and you feel it gurgle in response. It's clearly louder than you thought because Bromm'ka laughs a moment later. Don't worry, my hungry friend. We'll have that sorted out soon. Guess I'm more glad to hear that than I thought. I got something in mind? Now that I know that you'll be eating with me, I think Vilcharin, Korak, Aj will do nicely. Your stomach rumbles again. It might have been in delight. My dad used to force our replicator to make that. It was never up to the task. I mean no disrespect when I say that this replicator is probably better than the one that you grew up with, and that I am far more skilled in working one. Hey, you won't hear me arguing. The bear grins, patting you on the back before slipping past you and heading for the replicator. He waves to the table and you take a seat. So, while you get started on that Korak Ash, how about you tell me what's bothering you? Oh, Rail, I'm your doctor. I'm the one who's meant to be showing his concern. I'm not allowed to show concern. He flashes a bright smile at that as he begins to power up the replicator and cooker. You are, of course, and I am glad that you do. You don't have to get into it if you don't want to, though. The bear's grin does fade somewhat, but he nevertheless leans forward and rests his bulk against the counter. Do you mean that? Of course I mean it, Brom. If you don't want to talk about something, I'm not going to force you. But if I did, would you be willing to? Yeah, of course. He works his jaw for a moment before tapping the counter twice and straightening up again. I feel like a fraud. Huh? You... Wait, what? With Anwill. That clears nothing up, but it's a good chance to get some extra info for Zuberi. Not that you think Bromm'ka's hiding anything, of course, but you did agree to this. If something is wrong, I should be able to figure it out. It is quite literally my job. assessment, diagnostics, treatment. I said something seemed wrong when we picked him up. I remember. You said that he was too healthy, that he shouldn't have survived what he went through. And I stand by that truly. In my opinion, he should never have survived long enough to be brought aboard. When Zuberi asked us all where our opinions on him fell, you wanted to help him. And I still do. He sighs as he keys in some quick commands on the replicator and activates the machine. It whirls to life as he settles against the counter again. I stand by that as well. Please don't misunderstand. I didn't mean to make you think that I thought you didn't care. I know, and I'm glad. This situation is messy, Rail, and I am learning that I know far less than I thought I did. He pushes off the counter with a groan. You think Letta was telling the truth? I don't know. Everything that I have learned and that I have seen says no. He pats at his stomach and he eyes up the replicator. But... Bromm'ka's eyes lift to you once more and he sighs. No, but... I trust in what I have learned, in what I know, in what the systems at my disposal tell me. And she is a pirate, besides. I didn't get the impression that I could trust her with a discharged blaster pack, let alone anything that matters to me. Yes, she did seem to be the sort that would use words like weapons. Her wilder accusations I am happy to disregard. It's the other things that make me worried. That they treat Anwill like property, not a person. That they have a means to track us. You don't think that they just got lucky, catching us the way they did? No. Yeah, me neither. It would be all too convenient. Bromm'ka nods as the replicator pings for attention. As his eyes fall on the device, his muzzle splits into a wide smile once more. Ah, good. Food. He reaches in to withdraw 2 steaming plates. The round, flaky pastry on them carries the aroma of synth meat and cheese. As he brings the plates over, you can see the deep pastry bowls filled with synth meat, vegetables, and cheese that melts between it all. You breathe in the smell nice and deep, and sigh in turn. It's no breakfast dish, but I'll take korak achsh. I thought so, and I am glad. I hope that it is as pleasing as it has been in the past. He slides some cutlery across the table to you as he takes his seat. I have been thinking on the matter of Anwill being tracked though. I mentioned it to the captain earlier actually. We know that Anwill's bioregulator has been stripped. This can hide cyberware installations, usually for smuggling. You did suspect Blackware smuggling, yeah? You think that it was to hide something else? The bear nods as he stirs a fork through the insides of his pastry. You follow suit. It would be a crime to let something so delicious smelling go cold before you could enjoy it. Maybe. There have been stories for as long as I have been alive of warp space, burst beacons being installed into a spy cyberware. Absurd notions. Yeah, I've heard those. Exotic radiation in the warp space burst could kill you before you got the message off, way before you could get to a med pad. The prevailing medical opinion is that such things aren't viable, no matter what the hollows might suggest. You frown as you bring a piece of meat to your muzzle and bite down. The cheesy, meaty flavor of the korak achsh spills across your tongue and you groan before you can stop yourself. Good? Better than Dad's by far. Oh, high praise indeed. Thank you. I am glad. He chuckles as he takes a bite for himself and nods his own approval. Some adjustment required, but I am pleased. Very You were in the middle of something that could be very useful for Zuberi to hear regarding Anwill, and you don't want to lose your line of thought. So you think that it couldn't be done? The warp space data burst in an implant, I mean. Yes, the prevailing opinion suggests that anyway. He waggles his fork at you. But I was thinking, Anwill clearly heals quickly. He is incredibly resilient and far more so than anyone that I have ever known. I don't know how, and I can't detect why. If he did have an implant, it could be built slowly, give his tissues a chance to adjust to the radiation that it's being exposed to. It would shorten his lifespan considerably, of course, Healthy cells aren't meant to be subjected to the degree of radiation for protracted periods of time, and I don't care how resilient one is. You lift your head from your meal, chewing while taking in Bromm'ka's words. When you swallow your mouthful, you nod to him. He did say that he was familiar with medical facilities. Could medpods repair the damage if he naturally just recovers quickly? He doesn't naturally recover quickly, and that is the point. That is why he, biologically speaking, worries and confuses me. But given how unnaturally he seems to heal, yes. Regular time in any standard medpod should help him recover. This is all theory though, right? The bear grunts, frowning as he shovels another large bite into his muzzle. He chews vigorously as you follow suit. But it is not without reason. I know, it takes conspiracy theory and holologic and weaves them together into something that most people say isn't possible, or at least not viable. But long-term, low-yield run of the implant, regular restorative medical treatment, maybe limited range on the data burst? Maybe. Maybe's a long way from sure. But also a longer way from impossible than I am comfortable with. To be sure, I'd have to conduct a thorough autopsy. Doubt he'd agree to that. I would concur. Bromm'ka chuckles as he stirs the contents of his pastry bowl together. The circumstances that we are in are unprecedented. We're in considerable danger from multiple angles. And here I am in the middle of it all trying to figure out a complex medical problem. I wouldn't have expected it to be as fun as it is horrifying now that I find myself talking about it. You smile back at him, even as you acknowledge the truth. That's definitely weird. But then again, so is everyone on the ship. It's not out of his way. What do you think, though? About what part? Anwill, what is your take on him now? Stars, Bromm. I don't know. Your opinion has changed since he came aboard? When he came aboard, I knew that we needed to help. We knew that he'd be trouble, but that didn't change anything. And now? You sigh, if only it was that easy. After he did his intro a couple of days ago, I was a bit more firm on things. How so? Bromm, he didn't ask for any of this. I thought that if we could do anything to help, we should. I suppose he reinforced your stance. I guess so. I just didn't have a reason to think otherwise. I'm still hopeful that we can do something for him even now, like throw him out an airlock. Especially now, I'm glad that you still want to help him, even after everything that happened earlier. You smile. You're glad that he's glad. Bromm'ka spears a root vegetable with his fork and turns it over before biting down into it. But now? Now? Where are you now on him? It's a loaded question, to be sure, but it's not like you've not interrogated the crew similarly yourself. Besides, you're getting good insight from Bromm'ka here. I think that right now we don't know anything, and until we do, I'm done with speculating. He's here, and whatever else is going on, turning him over to the pirates it never sit right. Speak for yourself. Bromm'ka's smiling while chewing on another mouthful. He swallows a moment later. How optimistic of you. Bound to happen eventually. Why not now? Why not indeed? He grins, though it fades somewhat as he looks down at his plate. I wish that I could do more. I wish that I knew more. If I did, maybe I could help. Hey, you helped plenty. He wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you. First as his doctor and secondary as a pilot earlier. Seriously, those were some nice moves. He chuckles, shaking his head. Moves? Rail, I was seated quite comfortably. No one needs to see my moves. I promise you. Hey, speak for yourself. His ears twitch, and you catch them warming as he glances away. Yes, well, we'll see, I guess. He returns to his meal as you do. Bromm'ka doesn't seem as pleased by his piloting skill as he does by his medical abilities. Actually, given the combat situation, a question occurs to you. When next your muzzle is clear, you cannot but ask, "Hey, you don't have to answer, but while we're talking about what happened earlier, the fight with the frigate, how are you with what happened, I mean?" Bromm'ka's expression turns serious, even somber for a moment. I am fine. Displeased, but I am fine nonetheless. You frown at him. It is far from the most convincing performance that you've ever seen. As he looks up at you, it's clear that he knows that all too well. Death is something that I am accustomed to. Even before I left the IGA, I was well acquainted. Taking lives is not something that I ever wanted to become comfortable with. My vocation, my true vocation, is the support of life, the mending of vitality. If we had not destroyed those gunships and their crews, innocents would have suffered. We stood with conviction and we stood in self-defense. And you didn't pull the trigger. That sure soured its expression quickly. And you think my conscience is clean because of that? I think the fault has to lie with the Fangs, the ones who actually came after us, not you or me or the captain or Kalia. Bromm'ka nods to himself and shrugs a few seconds later. In my culture, the only way to not be responsible for a thing is to not act in regards to it. To engage actively with the thing is to be accountable to the thing's outcome, always. Accordingly, you would be in the clear rail. Your efforts did not contribute in any way to any deaths or negative outcomes. I am not so fortunate, but I accept it as a necessary aspect of what I do, of my role here. He smiles as his head lifts again, and his eyes focus once more on you. I am just glad that such things are rare. They let me not become numb to the reality, the sacrifice, the cost. It's good that you recognize it. I guess that's the doctor in you rising to the surface. I hope so. I was worried that I sounded like an idiot. No, never. His smile widens further, and he reaches across the table to pat at one of your paws. I am glad. I do sometimes start talking and forget to stop. You don't have to worry about that. I wouldn't talk to you if I wanted you to stop. Ah, and now you're trying to make me blush. You must stop. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He laughs, leaning back in his chair as the sound echoes throughout the commissary. It's nice seeing and hearing Bromm'ka bounce back from such a heavy topic. I suppose that I should ask you though, how do you feel about that confrontation? Bromm'ka smiles broadly as he pats at the table. Every year that I have been here, circumstances aboard this ship have pushed her harder and harder. And yet, despite that, she always rises to the challenge. She has never let me down as long as I have been here, no matter the circumstances. You're not exactly set up to fail. Zuberi's probably poured millions of creds into the Dreamer, and millions more into purchasing her in the first place. I may not know much about starships, but I know that this model is not exactly cheap. And then you see everything that he's put into it, not just the weapon system, but the shields, those thrusters. I felt you accelerate through the dampeners. Bromm'ka laughs and nods quickly. And Sam has already expressed their frustration with me. Apparently, I strained the inertial dampeners with some of my sharper maneuvers. Damn, it's no wonder that you felt every turn and roll. But they will get over it, because they will be glad enough that they have something to do. Sam is never happier than when they have new and interesting work. You don't strain the drives that much? The drives? All the time. It is the inertial dampeners that are a new challenge for them. It's only fair after all. They've always are coming to me with problems to solve, so it is only fair that I return the favor. You chuckle and shake your head. I can't imagine Sam presenting you with many problems to solve. Their laughter fades away at the change to Bromm'ka's face. He's smiling, but it's clear that he's trying to not say something. Ah, but you might be surprised. We are a strange, varied crew with many needs. Sam is just one such unique individual under my care. And I guess it would be very wrong of you to share any of that information, so I'm not gonna even ask. You're very right. But the fact that there are medical matters that can be dealt with on a long-range deep space exploration ship, that the Dreamer has such a capable infirmary, it's just more of a testament to how incredible the ship is. Very much so. I feel immensely privileged to be able to work and live here. I thought for a while that I wouldn't be able to live aboard a ship or a station, that I needed 2 feet on solid dirt, natural grav and fresh air. I'd still prefer that, but if I have to be in an artificial environment, I can think of not a single one better. That's a thought. When you're done here, would you look to stay with the AG or stay on the ships? He chuckles quietly and sighs. Oh, I don't have any intentions to go anywhere just yet, Rail. But when the time comes and I need to move on, I don't think that I could go to any other ships, not to work on. You'd be too tired of life? No. I think no other ship will ever come even remotely close to the wonder that is the Void Dreamer. I have only been here for a short time, but she has become as much a home to me as any place that I have ever been. The adoration that he feels is clear in his voice. You don't doubt him in the least as you smile. After the IGA, I don't think that I'd settle anywhere. I thought that any environment full of tech and full of advanced science and the like would just bring up unpleasant memories. I hope that hasn't been the case here. You kidding? This has been everything that the IGA never was for me. It's the culmination of everything that the IGA represented. The best tech and the best people. The Dreamer, if she had been at the IGA, would have been a showpiece, something to tour students through before setting them to the simulations of being aboard her. It would be a terrible waste. It would, just like my time there. My time here with this absolute marvel isn't a waste. I have a chance to do something good here, facilitated by the Dreamer herself. It sounds perhaps like the IGA lost out when they lost you. You're not so sure about that, but you put on a smile for Bromm'ka anyway. He grins back at you. Maybe they did, and maybe it's the Dreamer's gain. I would say so, as well. I have to admit that I am worried, but confident. Sounds like a good place to be given the circumstances. And I doubt that I would be so confident or in such control of my worries if not for everyone on this ship. He perks an eyebrow as he nods to you. We're going to get through this, you know, all of us. I hope you're right, Brom. I really do. We will make it right. I would wager our conviction against the pirates any day. You chuckle quietly to yourself. You don't doubt the Bear's conviction, that's for sure. You just hope that it's enough. Bromm'ka is much perkier in the wake of the conversation about recent events and Anwill's situation. He turns instead to asking you about game night, and you take it all in. He's frustrated that the pirate attack prevented him from discussing it with the whole group, it seems. If nothing else, you're more than happy with the topic shift, and he's more than happy to hear your feedback. If this is a glimpse into the sort of events the crew's put together, it's very promising. It's clear that he's passionate about the game, from the enthusiastic way that he goes through everything with you. It's all that you can do to keep up with him by the end. At least he makes up for his overbearing enthusiasm in short order with dessert. All is swiftly forgiven. When at last your reader pings for attention to let you know that second shift would have just ended, Bromm'ka's smile hasn't faded for the last hour. As he takes your plates, bowls, and cutlery to the replicator though, his eyes track back over to you. You're going to head out, yes? I was thinking about it. I don't want you getting sick of me, right? The bear chuckles as he cycles the dirty equipment and shrugs. I doubt that would happen. You've been very kind to me. You deserve it, and I don't think that I plan on stopping now. I'm glad to hear that. He brushes down his jacket as he looks your face over, like he's waiting for something or expecting to see something in particular. You can't help but wonder what it is. Is everything okay? Yes, of course. Listen, I was going to head to the rec room. I was thinking about asking you to join me. Your ears perk up. It definitely doesn't sound like Bromm'ka is getting sick of you. But instead of that, I would just like to talk with you and away from the others, if that is okay. This is definitely different. The bear seems so earnest. That alone isn't all that different, honestly. But worried maybe? If you'd liked, of course. Only if you wanted. You'd be glad to see where this goes. You nod slowly to yourself as you consider the offer. Your answer doesn't take you too long. Sure, I'd love to. The bear grins and nods as he moves out from behind the replicator. Thank you, Rail. I really appreciate it. I haven't even done anything yet. You have. You absolutely have. He hesitates as he glances through the door to the main corridor. But as I said, I would rather that we go somewhere more private to speak. Do you mind if we go to your quarters? Oh? Interesting. Sure, we can do that if you like. He nods again and waves you forward. Please, after you. You head back out into the main corridor, the sound of the bear's heavy footsteps behind you. You can't really imagine what it is that is so important that he needs such privacy to discuss it with you, but you guess that you're about to find out. You do catch Sam heading into the commissary. They don't give you anything more than a nod as you leave. Maybe they want something more complex to eat. The doors to everyone's quarters line up around you, but you make your way to yours in short order. And this time with Bromm'ka following, this could be interesting. You wave Bromm'ka towards the door to your quarters as it slides open. He smiles and nods his thanks to you as he steps inside, and you follow him a moment later. You lean back against the door, arms folded as you watch Bromm'ka look around. He seems to be taking in the details, or perhaps the lack of details. When he turns around again, he waves a paw about himself. You aren't interested in decorating your room? I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I don't want to put the effort in if I don't know if I'll be staying. He nods slowly before sighing to himself. And that is the core of it, isn't it? We never know what's going to happen next. What's in front of us. He sits himself down in the chair by your little table as you shake your head. Something's clearly on your mind. What's up? He tenses slightly as he looks down at the floor. The poor bear's never looked so uncomfortable in the time that you've been aboard the Dreamer. Given you've seen him getting dressed down by Kalia, that's really saying something. Maybe it's just this tour. Maybe it's everything that's gone so weird. I need you to understand something, and I promise I mean no offense to my fellow crewmates. Your ears perk up. That's definitely an interesting way to start this conversation. Present company excluded, I hope? Present company catalyzing, actually. Oh, well, now I'm worried. The bear chuckles, and some of the tension in the room lifts with that sound. Don't be. This isn't, bad. It's just weird. When I came aboard and ever since, there's not been someone like you. Someone like me? Like me how? Not all about the work, not all about work at all. You tilt your head. He's completely lost you now, and he can tell. He sighs again. Sorry, I am not making a lot of sense. Let me try again. Two types of people come aboard AG ships, AG staff, and tourists. Yeah, I've heard that said. Kinda hard to believe Zubairi'd be the sort of captain to just let strangers on a ship to see the local lack of color. Because he's not. But sometimes they're a necessity, like when some corpo suit high up in the AG needs to entertain someone. They like to come along on tours with guests. They're at their best when they're unobtrusive, when they stay out of our way. He pauses and frowns deeply. Especially when they stay out of Sam's way. I was about to say the same thing. Tourists are interested in us and don't care about the work. AG staff are interested in the work and they don't really care about us. And now you see where this is going. You've taken a lot of interest in me. You're just that interesting. He smiles, bowing his head slightly before he gives it a quick shake. As kind as that is, it is exactly my point. I'm not used to it. Normally, I'm just a doctor, or the helmsmaster. I'm just an AG officer and crew member. You don't treat me like that. I mean, I'm not AG. But you are not a tourist either. You're here doing a job, for your own reasons, but doing the job. And you're done it well. Oh, thanks. It's been an adjustment. Everything that I've heard from Miz hasn't suggested that in the least. You blink and Bromm'ka smiles at your confusion. You didn't think that he'd say something so complimentary? Not without snarking a little back at me while he did it. You smile as Bromm'ka laughs. It feels like the tension is only continuing to diffuse. Well, between him and Zuberi, everything that I've heard has been pretty positive. And I'm glad. I really am that you're so nice, and that you like spending time with me. If that's all you wanted to say, you didn't need to pull me away like this. I mean, I'm glad too, but it just feels like something that's still on your mind. What is it? Maybe you can read me better than I thought. Gambling isn't going to be a strength of yours. That it isn't. He takes a deep breath and shakes his head again before he leans back into the wall. I'm hoping that you can help me. Help you... with what? With me. You can't help but frown. With you? You're fine though. No, I am not. His eyes close as he steadies himself, and it's clear that trying to get this out is taking its toll on the bear. Hey, it's okay. Take your time, as long as you need. He heaves a deep sigh again and lays his head back against the wall, eyes still closed. I need to start at the beginning, if you're going to understand. Do you mind? He waves a paw to your sleeping pad. You make a way over and sit down on the edge of it, and the bear nods. You remember what I said after you did your introduction? About Tromwes and how he sparked my fire? You nod. It's been a couple of days, but that bit stood out. Yeah, he was able to help you cope with your situation by teaching you to cook. I'm glad that you remembered. He shakes his head again. If it were not for him, I would not be here. The cub that I was back then was a bundle of fear and anger and hurt. He transformed those things. He saved me. You nod as you lean forward. I don't know how I can help you like that. I don't even know what's wrong. Brol Thanan Alik Ka Besh Narthai. The bear's language is completely beyond you, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I don't... The Brol Thanan are ancient spirits, demons of the highest order from our oldest stories. All Hevri cubs are taught of them. He sits up a little higher in the chair as you tilt your head. The cold flame, the Thalnan, is the enemy of life. It is a manifestation of all that is evil and wrong in the world. Cruelty, selfishness, hatred, every dark desire is represented in the facets of the cold flame. Only the divine warmth of a true flame can burn it back. Hearing this all, suddenly the bear's efforts to feed your flame take on a new light and much deeper meaning. You wanted to strengthen my flame against the cold? In my own way, in whatever way I can, to try to strengthen the flames of others. But there is more to the stories. The Brol Thanan teaches of the influence of the cold flame and how it turns our hearts dark. They also are said to be responsible for the evils that befall children, in particular. You slowly nod. A lot of cultures in the galaxy had demons and mythical creatures that were responsible for twisting the minds and hearts of people to evil. Most contemporary sapiens just know that everyone is capable of such things. No supernatural assist is necessary. Bromm'ka, though, seems to be far more invested in this story than you would have expected. To harm a child is to commit the gravest of sins in most Hevri culture. I think that's the gravest of sins in most cultures, Hevri or otherwise. True, But on Heveris, such people are marked. Their names are stripped and they carry their shame forward. The sudden, somber tone in Bromm'ka's voice tells you all that you need to know. Your honorific, Ka. For Alik Ka, the destroyers of children. Your jaw clenches as you nod slowly. What happened? And why are you telling me this? Bromm'ka takes a slow breath. The why will come. The what is a painful story. I won't ask if it... No, I must. It is important. You have shown me more kindness than any others in years, Rael. You have fed my flame. This is owed as much as you are to Kare and my ancestors. Kare? He licks his lips, an ear flicking as he settles forward. Before I studied at the IGA, I was in training to be a healer. I was a Bromm'ness, student under my master, Lorenik Asa. You tilt your head, and Bromm'ka clearly notices your confusion. The Asa have earned their honorific as masters of their field. Masters lead and instruct those beneath them. Kare was a young cub, too young to even have earned the honorific. He was brought in with grievous wounds while Lorenik Asa was unavailable. I was there. You didn't have a med pod? We did. You see the bear's fingers flex against your table. You could swear that you could hear the metal strain and bend. I was taught its full operation, of course. I knew the systems inside and out. As good as I could as a Ness anyway. It stabilized him somewhat, but it could not fix the true problem. You blink. Medpods don't just fail like that. It should have been able to fix whatever was ailing this Kare. What was the problem? Bromm'ka swallows hard before he is able to continue. His wounds had exacerbated a deeper problem that the medpod couldn't fix. There was He clears his throat and shakes his head. It's clearly taking everything in Bromm'ka not to break down here. There was a clot in Kare's brain. Oh, stars. Normally the medpod could have addressed this problem. It could have broken down the clot, a simple thing really. But... Bromm'ka bares his teeth as he stares at the floor. The surge of anger is as surprising as it is intimidating. But with Lorenik Asa away, certain surgical and chemical features were locked to prevent the medpod being used to harm others. Wait, how could it be used to harm someone? The culture that I grew up in was deeply trapped in pre-ascensionist thinking, Rael. Medpods were believed by many to quench one's flame and ignite a new, unfeeling one in its place. Many refused any healing that involved a medpod. Many still do. You shudder. I don't know what to say. I do, but such words are not for friendly company. The medpod was not viable. I couldn't use it, but it would sustain Kare for a while. Eventually the clot would kill him. He had 4 hours with the medpod sustaining him, minutes by its reckoning if he was removed. You removed him? Lorenik Asa was 6 hours away by aerocraft. Kare was dead if I did nothing. So you tried to save him. Once more, Bromm'ka closes his eyes. You can only imagine the torment that drives the shaking of the bear's muscles as he sits there, trembling at your table. I tried. And I failed, Rael. I was 14 standard at the time. Even with the medpod to guide me, I was not ready for this. He died when I failed to get the clot in time. You blink as Bromm'ka slides forward and buries his face in his paws. Confusion hits you even as you stand and make your way over to him. Your paw finds his shoulder, and one of his comes to rest atop yours. It's damp, stained with tears. He didn't die because of the surgery? No, but that's what earned the IGA's attention. My surgery was good, but not quick enough. So you didn't kill him? Bromm'ka's eyes lift to you, and there is a sudden blaze of anger behind them. He would have lived longer if I had left him in this pod. You said yourself that he was dead no matter what. That the only person who could get the pod to work right was too far away to save him. The bear grits his teeth. You don't understand our ways. By taking him off the assistance of the pod, I took action. I made a choice. It doesn't matter that he was dead either way, Rail. I chose a course of action that killed him. But the outcome wouldn't have been different. Rail. His jaw tightens, his voice, flatter and duller than you've ever heard, rings out with absolute conviction. Had I done nothing, the accident that caused his wounds would have claimed him. But I acted. My actions led directly to his death. You disagree, I know. That is kindness in your heart, and I am glad. The ways of my people are clear, though. If you act, you are responsible. That isn't fair. But that is our way. No, but... You trail off as you watch the bear's expression change. The pain is back, overcoming the tired, almost exhausted look in his eyes. Arguing with him is a fool's errand, you realize. He recognizes the awfulness in what he himself is saying, but that doesn't change what his people believe, what he even may believe himself. I'm sorry. I know. I appreciate it. Thank you. His breathing is ragged as he sits up again and gives your paw a squeeze. His family blamed me. Lorenik Asa blamed me. My family blamed me. The Arsorto, the village, all blamed me. And I became Bromm'ka, child killer, demon-touched, condemned. As he leans back against the wall again and pulls free of your paw, you're left somewhat stunned by the events of the last few minutes. It's too much. It's insane. All that he's told you swirls around in your head, a chaotic mess of noise. You can only imagine how utterly painful it is for Bromm'ka reliving all of this with you. With what's effectively a stranger. I'm sorry. It feels lame, but you can't think of anything else to possibly say to him right now. It does draw a slight smile on his muzzle, at the very least. You'll take it. Word reached the IGA, the youth who attempted brain surgery without a medpod and only killed his patient in the most pre-ascensionist, backward definition possible for tribalistic idiots. Their words, not mine. You wince nonetheless, given how defensive Bromm'ka has been with its culture despite them blaming him, unfairly as far as you're concerned, for a child's death. It must have stung hard to hear. The village was pleased to be rid of me, and I was pleased to have them do it. I didn't deserve to stay. I didn't deserve to be Ness. I didn't deserve to be anyone. And that's when you met Trom Wes? The bear nods. He even relaxes a little bit at the mention of the name. The Wes of my village was Garan Wes. He was the one who sentenced this latest shame. Latest shame? Bromm'ka grinds his teeth and nods. A story for another time. Sorry. Don't be. It's alright, and much more pleasant than this one. My punishment was to bear this honorific of the demon touch, to be Ka. This was no small thing in my culture. This brand would have ended my life effectively. No master would take me as a student. No one would make use of my services. Couldn't you just not go by Ka, though? You see him swallow as he shakes his head, his eyes narrow for a moment. It is not done. The honorifics can be dropped with family. That is why this crew, including you, Rail, may call me Bromm. And why Anwill can't? Precisely. He is not crew, not part of the family. But to be granted an honorific is an honor not just for oneself, but an honoring of one's whole life. All of your ancestors are honored such. Lying about it is to shame everyone. If I drop or lied about being Ka, I would be betraying everyone who has come before me. I think I understand. He bows his head to you, and you return the gesture. I was told that I would carry the name, wear the mark with shame, until my flame burned brighter than a star. That only then would I be wise enough to cast the demons off and begin anew. And what does that mean? That causes the bear to offer a soft smile. Just some ancestral knowledge wisdom to make it stick. He needed something appropriately devastating and evocative, like saying only when you have lived 1,000 lifetimes you will know purity once more, or that sort of thing. You can't help a quiet chuckle. Bromm'ka might respect and care about his culture, but he's definitely nowhere near as pre-ascensionist as his people are. I guess Trumwest asked about your honorific? He didn't actually. Wait, really? Not at all? Not at all. All he got to see was anger, devastated Ka lashing out at all around him. I didn't know better. The choice to go to the IGA wasn't mine, even if I'd earned it. I didn't want to leave, but the village insisted. It was by command of Garan West and my parents that I was made to go. You gasp. Your parents sent you away? Rail, to their minds I murdered a child. The love of a parent cannot survive everything. Some lines crossed are just too much. I guess, but it sounds like you needed them. I did, and I didn't. Trumwest waited until I was ready to speak to him. At that time, I was too angry to be reasonable. I saw in him, despite his differences, just another West who thought that he knew me, who thought he understood. But he did? Bromm'ka's smile returns at last. He did. Thank the stars. Don't forget, a clan leader like a West would never, ever be permitted to leave the clan. They certainly would never take flight in a starship. Maybe he... You trail off and fight to hold back a wince. You don't really want to suggest what you're now thinking to Bromm'ka, but the bear is now staring at you expectingly. No, it's all right. Go ahead. Well, he did ask. Maybe he wasn't really a Wes? I mean, if he already broke clan law by leaving, maybe he wasn't one anymore? Or maybe he was something else and lying? I thought about that myself, but once someone is granted the honorific, it cannot be taken without breaching one of the highest laws. If he had, then I would have known. His honorific would have been very different. Besides, pretending to be a Wes is one of those highest laws. And you can't pretend to be one anyway. The wisdom of a Wes can't be faked. You definitely don't want to argue with the bear, and you nod along. He let me rage. He let me cry. He let me lash out because he knew in his heart that this is what I needed. And when I was exhausted, that is when he took me to the cooker and helped me create something, rather than destroy it. We sat and we ate, and as we did, he asked me about myself. Not about my honorific. He asked about me, Bromm. You told him? I did. I didn't need to, of course. He would have been informed by the port authorities that I was a Ka. But he didn't treat me like a monster, so I was willing to open up to him. He smiles a little wider as he leans back against the wall. His paws fold across each other in his lap as he shakes his head. I didn't think anyone would look at me like that ever again. No one who knew anyway. And when I told him what Garan West said, do you know what he told me? You shake your head as Bromm'ka sits up a little higher. He said, there will come a day when there are no stars to be seen. You will find your way through the dark by the light of others, for the flames always burn brighter than any stars. Stars die all the time. They burn their last and are unmourned. But the flame is eternal. Your flame is eternal. You will guide and you will be guided. In the darkness without stars, you will be guided back to yourself. No demon can stand within the flame, and yours burns bright as a star yet. A tear rolls down his cheek as he finishes. That sounds lovely. The captain has been a light to me. He has been kind and fair and good, and he knows what happened to me, what I did, what I failed to do. He hasn't judged me, and I have been all the better for it, and while I've learned a bit about the others, no one else has wanted to just get to know me. Not the way that you have. He reaches out to you, offering one massive palm up. And now we reach the why I was talking about earlier. Oh, you almost forgot about that in the everything. I can't expect you to be so good to me without knowing who you're being good to. I didn't mean to deceive you. I hope you don't feel like I've manipulated you. No, that's not it. This is just your way. He nods, but you can tell Bromm'ka's starting to feel uneasy again. I understand if you're displeased with what I've said, what I've done. I don't want to put any expectations on you. Really, I don't. I don't need anything from you, I swear. But you've been so good to me, and I guess that I just forgot what it was like. You sigh as you step in closer and lay your paw down in his. To be seen for who you are, to be trusted despite what happened. He nods and you chuckle to yourself. I think that I know a thing or two about that myself. More than I'd like anyway. You would. It's why I felt comfortable enough to come to you with this. I'm just glad that you understand. It's nice to be seen. And I'm glad to see you. You're a good person, Ness. He recoils as if you struck him. His paw pulls back from yours as he shakes his head quickly. Barva no, Aki. I know you mean it to be kind, but no. Please no. Never again call me that. I am Bromm'ka. This shame is mine to wear, until the day that I am free of it. I will not hide from it. I will not shrink from who I am. You frown, ears pinned back, but nod regardless. You didn't mean to upset him. You thought that maybe he'd react better with you accepting him for who he was. I'm sorry. Don't be. You were trying to be kind. I accept this as what it is, Rael. Until I can be free of it, I accept it. I am just glad that I have your help, that one day I will be free of this shame, and I don't doubt that you'll have a role to play in it. I'm happy to help however I can, I promise. The bear finally relaxes, more than he has the whole time that you've been here with him. Yours is a warm flame indeed, Rael. Thank you. I don't know what more I can say to offer. Your kindness is a gift that warrants reward. Just keep being you, Brom. If you weren't you, I wouldn't have wanted to spend time getting to know you. His ears start to burn as he turns away, clearly embarrassed. It's adorable. Yes, well, be careful with such things. Your goodness is very appealing and endearing thing. I wouldn't want to smother you. He's being earnest so far, but this is too much. That means maybe you can figure out just how he feels about you too. Oh, Brom, I think you smothering me might not be the bad time that you think it would be. I don't think that... Oh, you mean, oh. That wasn't exactly what I meant. Uh-oh, maybe you overstepped here yourself. I'm sorry if you're not actually interested then. No, it's, just not the right time for something like that. I'm not in the right mental or emotional space after explaining all of that, stuff. So you are interested in me. He glances away again briefly, eyes only flicking up to meet yours for a moment. With all that you have done since you came on board, it would be difficult not to be. You smile. It's good to hear that. I'm glad. And don't worry, I wasn't going to suggest anything while you feel like this. I know today's been a lot for you. It has. Thank you for understanding. Always. His smile beams, your chest warms at the sight of it. So, what now then? Bromm'ka looks around the room before dropping his gaze back to you. I don't know. I really don't. This has all been so much, and you've taken it so well. You perk an ear and raise an eyebrow, and the bear's eyes go wide. No, I didn't mean. Sure you didn't. I take it all back. You're horrible. He lightly bats you with one paw as you both laugh. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here. Oh, I'm sure you'd be fine. Fine, yes. But this is better than fine, and it's thanks to you. So, thank you. You're welcome, really. Nothing to worry about. You smile back at the bear and nod to him. There's nothing else really to say. You're glad, certainly, that he's trusted you enough to share something like this with you. It's clear that he's definitely coming to trust you, and doubly clear that coming to meet with him here was a good idea. Conversation continues for a little while after that. It's been a lot for the both of you. Thankfully, topics turn towards the lighter in very short order. You compare notes mainly on your upbringing. Bromm'ka expounds much more gladly on the positive parts of his own childhood. Or as constraining as their way of doing things is, there are positives. If nothing else, the community that their village fosters is certainly something truly enviable. As long as one doesn't step outside the communal lines, of course. For all the good Bromm'ka espouses, you can't help but feel a little discomforted by how stifling his people's ways seem to be. That you don't judge them too harshly definitely does you favors with Bromm'ka. You get the impression that he's used to being looked down on for his adherence to his people's culture. You wouldn't have wanted to spend so much time with him if that was off-putting though, and this leaves him all the warmer towards you. As the minutes roll by, you're alerted to your reader pinging for attention. Third shift is effectively over. You both need to bunk down if you're going to be ready for work tomorrow. The bear's smile turns a little sad as he rises. I don't really want to go. This has been nice. It has, yeah. I don't usually get to just be myself. Just talk about what my life's been like. I'm grateful that you gave me this chance, Aferi. You tilt your head. Aferi? His smile returns in full strength. Friend. But more than just friend. Friends, as I am sure you know, come and go. Aferi have more than just our friendship. They have earned our respect. They are more than friends. Less than family? He smirks. Only a little. It is not an affection given lightly, and I mean it when I offer it. The crew, you, I see as family, but this is separate, distinct, important. I'm honored, Aferi. He beams as he nods to you. You shouldn't let me take up more of your time. I have already taken so much. Don't worry about it. You gave back a lot more than you took after all. I wouldn't trade this time for anything. Neither would I. He stands and brushes himself down with a quiet chuckle. Would that I didn't have somewhere to be. Your presence has been a wonderful comfort on a difficult day. I'm glad that I could help, and that you trust me enough to open up to me like this. The pleasure is mine, Aferi, and I don't know I would have pulled myself together today if it were not for you. He waves a paw about with a smile. All that business with the pirates, our conversation before and this, I don't know how I would have made it through the rest of the day. I'm sure you would have just been fine without me. I am not so sure. He glances towards the door before approaching you instead, his arms spread out wide and wrapped tightly around you. You gasp in the hug, though the sound turns into a quiet chuckle as you return the embrace. You pat over Bromm'ka's back before he pulls away again, muzzle open. If you're about to thank me again, you can stop. His muzzle closes, but it twists with a smile. Never. Have a good rest of the day, Rail. You too, Bromm. Take care. He nods again and turns to leave. The door slides open to let him out. He lingers there in the doorway just out of the corridor. It's clear that he doesn't really want to go, even though he said that he had somewhere to be. Eventually, though, he does turn away and heads off, obstinately toward whatever plans he's made. You hope that this all hasn't made him late. Your door closes again and you sigh. That was a lot. Interesting and wonderful and terrible and horrifying, but good. If nothing else, it's a valuable insight into the bear that definitely qualifies as good in your opinion. But for now, third shift is still far from over. You have time, according to your reader, to find something else to do before you're expected back on the bridge. The thought is almost overwhelming. Your day started under fire. Every day so far has been full, one way or another. Overwhelming maybe isn't a big enough word for everything. Maybe this is just your new life. You smile at the closed door. Maybe it is what your life is now, good and bad. And with friends like Bromm'ka, maybe the good things will keep outweighing the bad. You head back out into the main corridor with that smile not fading in the least. Casting your gaze around, you turn your mind to what you could do with the limited time that you have left. Where would Rail like to head to? That'll be a topic for another day. So, poor Bromm'ka. I could understand how a village, I'm not going to say a backwater village because I mean, this is like the future, so like, they're probably a little bit more futuristic than we are, but like, whatever. So a village that has all these strict rules and has all these strange, but probably they make sense for them, like taboos and rules and things like that. To have somebody in an attempt to save a child inadvertently cause their death or fail to cause their death, like I could see how they would be like, oh, well, it was your fault. And like the parents, of course, are going to say it was your fault because like even with doctors nowadays, despite all the modern medicine we have and everything like that, if a doctor fails to save somebody, of course the family is going to blame the doctor, even though the doctor tried everything that they could or whatever. You know, maybe modern medicine just wasn't up to the task of being able to save somebody. But like, of course, sometimes the families don't take it too well. And it's not like he actively tried to kill the kid, but like yeah, I could see how his village probably saw it as like, oh, well, you caused his death because you took him out of the pod, and like even if he would remain in the pod, he would still die. But like you took him out and you performed surgery on him in order to try to save him, but like it wasn't quick enough. You succeeded in removing the blood clot, but it wasn't quick enough. And even nowadays, I think you have to be very careful. Like pulmonary embolisms or things in the brain, those are very dangerous. And sometimes when somebody has I don't know if it's a clot, an aneurysm, or one of those things, like a brain bleed, you only have like a few seconds where you can take them to like the hospital or get them in the hospital or already in the hospital and tell them like, hey, this is what's going on. We have to administer like a very specific treatment in order for the person to be okay, because if we don't, then they will either stroke, seize, or something. And the fact that the machine, which is designed to basically heal almost anything, regardless of how bad it is, was locked in its settings, isn't exactly Bromm'ka's fault. So wouldn't it have also been the fault of Bromm'ka's teacher that these settings were locked? And like, yeah, they were locked for a reason because, you know, reasons, arbitrary reasons, but still it's like, come on. If you have a student who needs to take care of these people while you're 6 hours away, you would think that you would have to unlock these features and maybe have some setting in the machine saying like, oh, there's a blood clot, so I'm gonna just unlock these one specific features in order to remove the blood clot. Like, come on. Especially if you're a medical professional, like in this sort of futuristic sort of setting, you would also think that you would be able to communicate with the guy and the guy would be like, okay, well, I'll remotely unlock these just these specific features for you so that you are able to treat this child. Unless the guy was like, yeah, I'm not going to be responsible for the kid's death, that I know that's going to happen, so I'd rather it fall on you and you get kicked out and me just be fine with it. So like, okay. Anyway, it is also nice to see that Bromm'ka is finally opening up, like truly opening up with Rail, with the character, with the main character. And Anwill, notwithstanding his situation of being a simulant, maybe not a simulant, being some weird sort of like sleeper agent thing, it is really suspicious unless even what's her face Lita doesn't know that Anwill isn't exactly a simulant, but maybe he is a new, if I recall correctly, I think even Anwill had mentioned that there is a new series of simulants which is above the most current one, which is like a simulant like type 4 or something like that. I forgot what it was, which is supposed to be even more realistic. So what if he is one of those? And his sister created him to replace either like a dead brother or something like that. I don't know, some weird shenanigan is going on with Anwill. That is like, oh, well, maybe he's not a simulant. Maybe he is a hybrid. Maybe he is like the first, I don't know, like the first real consciousness that's been shoved into a simulant body or something like that. I don't know. But they also made the distinction, or they made sure to mention that there are like artificial bodies that do have minds put into them, which are made to work for like 2 years before they can become like real people on their own or whatever, free people. So yeah, there's like a lot of little details that have just been recently sprinkled in, which may help to explain Anwill, but at the same time may help to muddy the waters a little, to say like, oh, maybe Anwill's this, maybe Anwill's that. We don't know yet. Oh. I don't know. I just don't want him on the ship anymore. Just ugh. Anywho, so what are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Void Dreaming yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page, or you can download and play the game yourself. They do have a Patreon, which will net you earlier access to builds of Void Dreaming as they're being churned out, and whatever else they offer. I do have, you could, whatever. You could become a channel member in case you want to support the channel and it helps support me, the channel, blah, blah, blah. Give me money. I give you videos on a earlier basis. And if you can't do that, then you can support through Ko-fi too. And any form of support is really appreciated, really. You can, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz. Also Ko-fi, whatever. Anyways, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.